Welcome to the Raven Rolls. Tonight we are playing Horizon Operative, which is a setting I created for the Genesys narrative dice system. Tonight is session 2, and here we have our players. Have just they've been on a few missions. They recently discovered a strange plant-like creature and recovered some glowing orb, a green glowing gem from the remains, and they just met up with their new associate named Zach Smith. And we'll start introducing the players.
I'm Ben. I am playing the role of Eric Clavin, a supernatural researcher and very in touch with the supernatural side and everything about it.
Hey everybody, my name's Jose, and today I'm playing Zach Smith, who's a augmented human, and he's pretty much like the muscle slash bodyguard in the group, just to make sure that if anything goes down, they're okay.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I am playing Darren Tuck. He's a bartender and a general nice guy in the face of the party, and I'm here hoping to find my wife. Have you seen her?
It's Horizon Operative is science fantasy setting, similar to the Men in Black comics, which had a little more supernatural in them than the movies did. But the movies there's some elements of the movies as well. It's also Ghostbusters, Torchwood, possibly getting into Stargate Sliders maybe at some point. But we'll see how that goes. So today, it's been a couple days since the party last met up, and they were requested by their patron, I guess, Savrin Poe, to meet up for a little bit of wanted to meet a couple of the members, and their base of operations happens to be underneath the bar where Darren works at. Darren probably runs the place. He's unofficially the one who's in charge, but he's there is an actual owner, but he's more of the he's actually the face of the bar. And
yeah, I mean, I didn't mean for that, but I'm happy to be that guy. I just kind of
sorry.
Not the owner.
No, the owner is the face of the company. He's the one.
Good.
No, you're just the bartender.
Oh, that's right, and general nice guy.
Even though you know what you're doing more than he does.
That's right. I mean, I like to think of the guy who shows himself as the owner of the company, not necessarily the guy who's given us our jobs, not necessarily our patron, but I always think of him as that guy from like 10, 12 years ago who had the checkered black and white shirt with the big pockets on his chest and the shoulder straps with the pants that had like the bedazzled pockets, and the man was wearing that's this guy, sleeves rolled up, shirt halfway unbuttoned down his chest with nothing under it. Like, yeah, what's up, everybody?
No, Jimmy, we don't need a vinyl karaoke night.
So, Jim, you saying that's what the owner looks like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not our patron, but the guy who's like out front, who's like the owner about it. He likes to think he's some some real hot shit.
The silent owner is our backer, and then this guy is the owner that we can't get to shut up.
That's right.
Well, he doesn't even know you guys. Well, he knows Darren, but
Good.
he doesn't know the rest of you. You usually don't go in unless you're going to see Darren and he's working. Usually don't go in the main way. You go in through the back.
Yeah.
You guys want a secret entrance, don't you?
All the best clubhouses have them.
So
I still will go through the kitchen.
there is access, obviously, through the main place, and the owner has no idea it's there. At least you think you've never seen him. Yeah, you always make sure he's not around if you ever go through there.
He's still like, why do we got pots and pans? Never mind. You pull on the second one.
Why do we even have that lever?
That lever. Who needs it? Ah.
Yeah, there's a sign that says secret entrance. Pull obvious lever.
And I just keep trying to convince him it's aesthetic. That's all. It's like, it looks good. It's from before, before like
Prohibition.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been retrofitted, this place, from Prohibition times, and you're in the sub cellar. He's probably never been in the regular cellar. you guys are in the sub cellar. Which of you want to be, is in there already? Is it Ben? Are you researching something? Darren, are you getting it all, like turning on the power and the lights and everything? Or
Oh, sure. I'll be doing some. I'll already be down there just making sure everything's up and running.
Yeah,
I
I think
make a roll for the power button.
I would probably be helping move things around so that way everything's not cluttered and we can get to where we need to.
well, you've been in here before. It's your base of operations. There's probably a workbench for doing any more technical stuff, repairing any weapons, stuff like that. You have more of a research area, a little more electronic based, or for a little more experimentation where you need more of a cleaner area. You probably have at least a couple computers, I'm guessing, that you can, so you get bigger screens. You can hook in your PADs into it.
Then I'll play Minesweeper.
Good use of company resources.
Yeah, I think Eric, you have not been able to probably get out of the cellar since getting back. He's been poring over that green glowing gem. Trying to figure out what the hell it is.
Yeah, and you probably have maybe a meeting table sort of thing with maybe 6 chairs.
Just a folding card table.
Okay.
Still have a map of Skyrim on it, by God.
Yeah, it doubles as a gaming table on Friday nights.
All the huge guys are just still sitting on it.
Okay, so yeah, it's so stuff is probably the workbench is probably was here. It's been here since you took over the place. The workbench, the research table is probably a little more newer. Maybe it is a folding table. You keep it nice and clean. Maybe the computers are just on boxes or something, and then a folding table, maybe an old couch. Yeah, he's your patron has given you some money and gotten you a few things, but he's not gonna pay for everything. Yeah, because you guys wanted to remain a little more independent.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that was your choice.
So
he's not paying for the interior decorator.
No,
those are jobs. Where is he?
Yeah, usually he contacts you through your PAD. You don't usually meet up with him. Actually, well, Darren has met him.
It was an accident.
Yeah, on his part.
Undercover boss situation.
Yeah.
Undercover boss. Has Eric met him?
Yes, because he is the one who contacted me after finding out about my abilities and pulled me into the team.
Actually, Darren. Actually, yes, he is. Sorry. Yeah, he contacted you, but so you met him. And Zach, were you contacted face to face, or did you meet up with? Because Darren knows.
I would think he would probably send me a message through the PDA to go meet him up.
Okay, you probably have not met him face to face, but you've met Darren before last mission. He's the only one you met before. Darren seems to be doing all his HR.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me sound terrible.
But
Sign up my payroll, please.
So, quick question: did you guys? So it was Eric, Darren,
Eric, Darren, Cassandra, and Zach last game.
Yep.
but not Zach. Cassandra. I should get a copy of the names. I don't have Cassandra's name, but so Cassandra, Eric, and Darren were the original 3 members of the group. So you found that first item, the you're calling the Wilhelm ball.
Yes.
Yeah, you found that on one of it was your first mission or second mission, or did you find that before you formed up?
I think that was our first mission, we decided.
So, so the handler, so Savern got you 3 together, sent you off, and you came across that object. Then you brought on Zach. You needed a little more in the way of muscle. Cassandra can hold her own. You don't want to piss her off, but I don't know if she's exactly what you would consider muscle of the group compared to Zach.
Cassandra's definitely a lot better than us with guns.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better. Well, anyone's a lot better than you.
me too.
I pull out my Derringer.
Right.
All right, so Darren and Zach you guys have only been in this place for maybe a couple months, but you guys are maybe moving around a few things. It's like, well, maybe it looks better. Or Darren is sitting down, and Zach, maybe that table should be over there. Or no, a little to the left. No, it's probably better on the other wall. And Eric is probably
ignoring everything.
yeah.
Focused on his work.
So you're on the research table, the clean table, and you have the Wilhelm. No, not the Wilhelm ball. The glowing green gem. Now, you have some additional scanning stuff on your PAD. You probably have some other ways as well, if you're so inclined. Still giving off the. It's still giving off a radiation signal.
Yeah, I think he's been trying to more or less isolate that particular, radioactive, whatever isotope is causing it, and trying to figure out if it's from, from this dimension or another one.
And so the door opens, and in strides this man. It's probably about 6.5, probably close to 7 feet tall. He's dressed in a impeccably sharp suit. Like there's no wrinkles in it at all. It's like it's perfectly pressed, and even though it does move with him, it's still perfectly pressed when he's if he stands still. Bald man, like shaves bald, and he has a perfectly trimmed goatee type beard all around his mouth and chin. He's actually wears sunglasses all the time, so you've never really seen his eyes. He's He's a little on the pale side, pale white skin. From what you can see, his hands in his head, and he comes in, and he doesn't say anything. And he walks over. Where is the Wilhelm ball right now?
I think it is probably near the research station, stashed in some sort of containment unit for when it's not being actively studied.
And he walks over. He runs his finger along the edge of the box, and he just stands over your shoulder, looking at the green gem that you're working on. As far as he might have met you here once, but you don't. He doesn't usually show up here. This is he requested, but it's a bit. Then again, you've only been operational for a couple months, so this is probably the second time that most of you have seen him here. Darren, he probably was here once before in the initial setup. He had a few things brought in, like probably the computers and some more containment stuff, and maybe your starting equipment there.
So not unheard of to see him here, but very rare.
Well, you've only seen him here maybe a couple times. Once when you first were brought to this place. You and Darren. Darren's seen him a few times before that. He brought you in personally, and this is the second time you've seen him here.
Gotcha. I think honestly, Eric doesn't even register that there's someone behind him. He's fully engrossed in what he's doing with the research. He's got the PAD, electrodes hooking the gemstone to his PAD as he's running all sorts of analysis on the gem to try and isolate whatever he can.
Seeing an odd reflection in my black and green screen, I look over my shoulder from my Minesweeper game.
from your DOS screen.
Yeah. Minesweeper on a DOS screen. Figure that out.
You have an emulator on your PAD, and you're sending it to the old screen.
That's my background.
I had to set it up.
You had to, exactly. We're like, how do I get this? I want the Matrix phone. Looking over my shoulder. Oh, Mr. Poe. Oh, it's good to see you, sir. And I'll get up and walk over to him. What have you got for us, sir? Anything special? Or is something going on in the bar? I mean, if you need me to go back upstairs, I totally understand.
No, we got the that's fine upstairs. The manager's handling it. The day manager, I guess, or night manager, whatever. There's some I don't know. I've never worked in more of a bar environment, so I've worked at places that had bars, but not official bars like that. So he doesn't. He says, "I think it's fine." Robert's upstairs, so he's taking. I let him handle the day-to-day stuff. He's a lot better than. Jim? What was his name again? The owner.
No, we're gonna straight up go with Vinny.
Yeah, Robert's a lot better at running than Vinny is. So.
Yes, sir. That was a good hire. Pretty sure that you had a hand in making sure that Vinny pulled in Bobby. Well,
yeah, he's. I wanted someone making sure that this place was running fine. if you guys were gonna be using it, especially down here.
Yep, and he's doing a fine job. So, and speaking of using this, have you found anything? Maybe anything special like what we've talked about, sir?
Hey, Jim, you're gonna have to refresh my memory. What do you mean?
My wife.
Oh, so okay, you asked them about.
Found a wife for me. No, that's not what I mean.
Oh yeah, I found her a while ago.
Yeah, and you married her, and you're a jerk. Yeah.
No additional information at this time. Sometimes
Well-
he's a little cold, I guess. I don't know if that's the right term.
Yeah.
In his nature, sometimes he's usually to the point.
So then what are you down here for? Just checking in on us? There's other than this glowing gem we found. There's not really a whole lot going on, and we've had it for a little bit. Not like we've been able to do too much with it, but Eric's been looking it over, playing with it, trying to get his toys to figure out what's going on with it. And Eric, Eli, I look at you. What is going on with that gem?
I get the sound of his name. He kind of jumps a little bit, probably swings his hand back and probably thwaps Darren in the chest a little bit. And nothing too exciting. And just running the standard spectrum analysis, trying to track down where the where this creature or this gem and the creature that was attached to it originated from.
There you go. Trying to figure out where the gem and the creature originated from. Eric's doing a great job, boss.
Ben, if you could give me a knowledge check, whichever one.
Sure.
What are your ranks in those two?
I got 2 ranks in supernatural.
And do you have any in super science?
No, I don't, but I do have a pretty good raw intellect. So
Okay, give me the supernatural.
supernatural. All right, what's my difficulty?
All right, you need one of those.
I mean, I'll roll without.
Yeah, just add a couple of yellows or something like that. Maybe or 3 purple might do it.
Okay.
But I will give you a blue die because you've been working on it for a while and stuff.
All right. On or up here. So that is a success with 2 advantage.
The readings have been pretty consistent. You've been able to determine that as I'm making up this stuff as I go along. So if someone wants to correct me when I get to the end of this, it's fine. There's a very consistent wave pattern. Consistent, like you've registered the same amplitude and same signal perfectly. It's not deviating at all in any way.
We haven't been able to match it to any sort of naturally occurring element.
You think you're pretty sure it's supernatural? Actually, I'm gonna rectify that. I'm gonna change retcon. There is it's not consistent amplitude. It actually so basically it'll go up and it'll come down, and it's actually not perfect, but it's pretty much like whatever the top value is, it's pretty much on point. Like it doesn't fluctuate much. There's a little degree of variance, but it hits up the top and the bottom. Like there's almost a pattern to it.
So almost like a irregular heartbeat.
I think heartbeat is a good analysis of that.
Yeah, so I think Eric he turns and he launches into it starts off as a very high level overview, but very quickly starts getting into details that probably only he understands within about 20 to 30 seconds of going, showing the data to Darren and Severin.
What? Zach's not interested?
This entire time, like when that guy walked in, he was probably just looking at him. So he's just waiting for somebody to for the guy to say something, and then he's just gonna keep watching.
Does Darren follow any of that that Eric is saying?
Kinda. And then he says like a heartbeat. I'm like, oh, okay. Why didn't you just say that?
I did.
You see Severin.
All right, I accept.
So Severin puts out his hand, and from under the sleeve of his left hand, something pops out, points it towards the the green gem, and he's actually looking up, not down at it, and his head's moved slightly, almost like he's reading something. Probably being displayed on his glasses.
Mm.
And he, that's interesting. I haven't seen something like that. What you called it again? Xylo horror. It came from
Yes.
his head. Does that reading motion again? Oh, yeah, I managed to pull up some information on it. Okay. I think with and do you share any like in addition of like you gave him everything? You gave him everything you talked about, like all your research findings, or you just gave him an overview?
Just the overview.
Have you been sending him any report on it or no?
Yeah. No, he keeps Eric keeps pretty detailed logs of what he does on a day-to-day basis, and redundant copies, and backs it up to whatever sort of secure, offsite server that we've got set up for this.
So he's already known it's Xylo horror, and so he came in the little scan, and he reaches into his pocket, and he hands a little box down about the size of the gem. I had some suspicions. I think he actually puts the box. He points a device that's sticking out of his sleeve towards the box. There's a few lights that appear on the side. It blinks a bit, and he goes, "Put it inside the box, if you wouldn't mind."
Okay. Yeah, he'll unhook his, save his readings, unhook the device from his PAD. Grab some safety gloves and some, forceps or whatever. Pick up the gem and put it into the box.
Along the sides go transparent, so you can see inside the glowing object inside, and a little display on the side, almost a gauge of some kind, goes lights up, like the bars light up until the gauge is full. I got the frequency all set up right, so there you go. Consider that a freebie. You now have a battery power source, universal thing, so you can use it yourself, or you can sell it. A lot of people would be interested in something like that. Be difficult to mass produce, but use as a in case any more of those come through. You can harvest those gems and have more made up. And you get a little beep on your PDA, Eric, and you have the schematics for that now.
Nice.
Oh, this is not radioactive, so that's good.
Oh, it's very, 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 very radioactive.
It's
Okay, well, we didn't turn through anything, so that's all that matters.
well, it's it wasn't dangerous
Yeah.
to you. Eric's PDA would have notified you of dangerous levels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Eric has a few extra sensors on his. You guys probably just have the basic models, and Pose looks like it's a lot more advanced than yours. Well, what you could see of it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of phone envy.
Sorry, what was that?
There's a little bit of phone envy.
Yeah, he has a top of the line new cell phone. It hasn't been released yet. You have one from 4 or 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Actually, you've not seen one like that, so you're pretty sure, based on your knowledge of things, that is probably cutting edge.
Prototype.
You have not seen. Like, do you read tech magazine, tech blog,
yeah.
like that as well? That you have not seen anything like that, but you don't see the rest of it, so you're not entirely certain what the rest of it looks like. But it's fitting under his sleeve, and there's not a lot of bulk to it, so it's maybe a wrist mount, almost like a Pit Boy, I guess, but not as bulky. But you could put yours on a wrist, like a bracer as well, or just leave it in your pocket or something, wherever you wanted to attach it to. But
Gotcha. And how big was the box that he had me put the gem in?
don't ask me why this is not on the ceiling, but it's a smoke alarm. It's probably a little smaller than this.
Okay, perfect.
Actually, we'll say it probably is even about this size. Yeah, so it opens up, it fits in through the top sort of thing, and then a little gauge on the side, and it goes a little transparent. But you can also, you have the schematics, that it can go opaque again. So, like, if you're walking somewhere and it's visible, you don't want it to be glowing, but hey, unless you want it to be glowing, it could double as a flashlight, I guess. I just thought of that. Yeah, there we go. So also a flashlight. So basically, it's a very high-powered battery,
Perfect.
or more like those a battery backup, if you as well, that you could hook up your cell phone to or something. So yeah, it could be primary supply, a primary power for something, or a backup supply, like to recharge something.
We'll see how long it lasts.
And his he turns around. His finger also traces the side of the box again, where the Wilhelm ball is in, and it says, "Anything anything else? Anything you guys are like? Any questions? Anything? Any requisitions? Did you want me to find a buyer for that, or?"
No, I'd like to run some more tests on it if that's okay.
Well, it's up to you. I give you the place. I give you a few odd jobs, but I'm going to give you a bit of cash, but most of it's up to you to figure out how to keep you guys in business.
So then you don't have any leads on work?
Well, let you guys know that things are not. You guys know about stuff. Like, think of it more like the Dresden Files. I'm going by the TV show, but a little Okay, more no. Let's go with Torchwood. A few people in the know, but it's not most corporations and are like there's not. I know I mentioned before that possibility, but we'll say corporations, at least as a whole, don't know about this stuff. The government might. It's not like you. If there's probably those rumors of stuff like there's rumors of Men in Black, but there's no, at least not that you know of, an official Men in Black. There's so what you guys are almost like the first on the cutting edge. There's all kinds of technology, new technology. You guys are probably more like now my mind went blank, like Ghostbusters.
Okay, so then
So it's he's found a few things. He gives you information. No one's actually asked how he gets this information. He provides it to you. It's been not every lead has been successful. You've been on a few missions. Really, there have been maybe 2 missions that have been successful, where you could actually one you found the Wilhelm ball, and the other one you found the this battery of sorts, supernatural battery. And like he said, it's not like there's occurrences happening all the time everywhere, but there's other ones that might be, but there might be too far. Like he's trying to keep things local.
well, probably one of the best ways for us to find out anything as a lead to follow up, and I'll pull up my PDA as I'm talking. Tabloids, right? Nobody ever believes what's in there anyway. So that'd be the best place to report on anything.
Watching too much the Men in Black movies, haven't you?
Absolutely.
You can always try, but as I said, it's not. Those are usually not. Those are not true, or they've been heavily exaggerated.
Yeah, but if I guess the way I'm thinking about it is if he doesn't have any leads for us, I'm trying to just find a way to move along. Because if we don't know a way to find leads, then we'll spend our entire game in this basement.
Wow, this is maybe a character building episode. Actually,
I'm about to level up shit out of this Minesweeper skill.
You see, okay, so 3. 2. There's 2 mines in that one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this one has 5 mines, and I think you got them all there. Okay.
All right.
You see his hands go up, and it looks like he's typing something in the air. And Eric, you get another ping on your PAD, and he goes, "I've just given you limited access to my satellite." This is the first time you guys are hearing about this. Certain times of the day, you can try to, if no one else is using it, then you could have access to it. You do not have priority clearance. And it picks up certain frequencies of, if I'm even speaking properly, I don't know, certain frequencies of radiation. I don't know, certain levels, but certain energy signatures. And like the ones from the Xylo horror and some other ones, it's going to be limited to your area unless you want to extend it beyond whatever radius you've been exploring and investigating. But yeah, if you want to go further than that, that's additional charges. I know the Xylo horror was a little further out your range, but something I really wanted you to look at. I know a few of the other missions haven't been successful. It's usually just minor fluctuations, and sometimes you didn't find anything. Actually, well, you haven't found anything yet, except obviously the Wilhelm ball and this, but nothing within your range. There's been some other readings, but they've been further out, and they've been very brief before I can even pick them up. But if you wanted to look into some of the readings, I can send them to you. And he types some more, and Darren, you get a ping.
Okay.
And there's an encrypted file that was sent to you. And also, Eric, there was the one sent to you, but as well, a different one. The one for Eric is all the readings it unlocks when you access it.
Yeah, I think he's already trying to reverse the telemetry and try and figure out where the satellite is in relation to us.
If you want to do that, I can give you a roll.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, one more. So, Darren, the document you get, it unlocks for you if you choose to unlock it, but it's a like security encrypted file. But do you open it?
With everybody still in the room, sure. Like I'll treat it just to see like what the headline of it is.
Well, what do you have? You have a display on your pad.
Yeah.
Do you have glasses accessory for it as well, or no? We'll say so. You have a display, so you can view it on the display, or you can view it. It could also project. The pads will also project the image, or you can send it to one of the screens.
No, just do its natural setting. Just don't project it. Just looking to see what it is, because if I'm receiving an encrypted message, or a file, I'm assuming that it is for me to decide what to do with it.
So I think we decided. So you have the base pads, except for Eric, base pads with an earpiece and like a mic type thing.
Okay.
You can whisper and it'll pick up. It's almost like it's like an invisible patch that's placed on your throat, so you can talk and it picks up. Like you can whisper into it if you needed to. Eric obviously has some additional scanners that were given to him. But the base pad has a screen. It can display almost like a holographic image.
Okay.
And you can also send it to a screen. Obviously, the screen and the display itself are better resolution than the hologram, but sometimes you want a 3D image displayed.
Yeah.
Your document, if it was today, it would be essentially a Google Doc.
Okay.
You both have you have read-only access to it.
Okay.
And it's a list of information about your wife. You pretty much know all of that, like the date, like information about her, personal information, dates, contacts, acquaintances, all this information. And the only additional bit of information that is on there that you don't know if he knew and just hasn't told you. It's useful information, but not useful at the same time. Like it's good that it's on there. There was around this. He has an exact time of when she disappeared, which you never had. He says there was an energy spike at a certain time. Was it at your house? I'm trying to remember where the disappearance happened.
I don't know. All I know is that when I woke up, she wasn't there.
No, but she was there at your house, and then she wasn't, right?
Sure.
Well, if that's what you want, was she with you when you went to bed, essentially?
Yes. Yeah. So when I woke up, she wasn't there.
So between the hours. Okay, between what hours? You tell me.
Oh, I slept through the night. It was a good night.
What time did you think roughly you fell asleep?
Well, I slept through the night, so I probably got home at about 3 a.m. and woke up at about 9.
So she was in bed, or was she up when you got home?
She was in bed.
So 3 o'clock, she was in bed, and when you woke up at 9, she wasn't there anymore.
Right. And the energy spike. What's the specific time?
Was at 5:15 exactly, and 23 seconds. It's like that precise, and it lasted for 20 seconds, and it was in your house. He pinpointed it right into your house. He gives you, he tells you exactly where, like it was says it was in the bedroom.
Okay.
Which he's not told you this before, but it is listed in that document. And it gives you the frequency, like more technical specs related to that energy signature. Okay, Ben, you really want to figure this out. So this is a super science roll.
Yep.
Unless you're going to be using something else like magic.
No, we'll just try based on the raw data.
Okay. 1 second here. Okay. Since there's only 3 of you. So I'm trying to remember, do I start off with 1?
Yes.
So it is right, 3 and 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your difficulty 3 purple. Upgrade 1 red. So 1 red, 3 purple, and 2 black setback dice.
1 red, 3 purple.
Yeah, 1 red, 3 purple, and 2 setback dice.
All right. Let's see what we get. Nope. Failure with failure.
Oh, a failure and a threat. What would you like the threat to be? It could just be as simple as a strain, like you know what? I'm going to say there was a bit of a feedback when you were trying to do it, and your pad sparks and gives you a jolt. You just take a fatigue point.
Okay, that's true. Works for me.
And a note appears on your PAD says, "Please don't try that again, Mr. Clavin." Sorry, I was muted. If you turn around, even though he has the glasses on, you can feel he's a glare. But you can't see his eyes at all. So, all right, Darren. Do you do anything with that information at this point? Say anything or do anything?
No, I will. After that quick glance looking at it, I'm going to close it, wait for the boss to leave, keep my professionalism, and then I'm going to see if I can get Eric to take a look at some of this information.
Okay, Jose. At one point, we were talking about. Are you going to keep your special augment, or are you going to change it?
I'm probably gonna change it because I don't think I'm gonna end up using the one I have.
And as soon as you change it, you guys are going on a water adventure.
Oh, that was good.
Because it's been a while since I've done. If you come up with another idea, like one that's not on the list, I'm certain we can come up with something. Jim is good at that. It was a very limited list. But well, yeah, it's like, for example, if you really wanted to, like, I don't know, I can't remember how much of your story you're going with. You went with people experiment on you, like a military experiment.
Yeah.
You could set it up that you go with claws and start playing off that you turn into a werewolf as one idea. As one of the pre-gens I made was a researcher, but they were an augment and they turned into a werewolf. And when they leveled up, they started taking more stuff that made them more werewolf-like. Well, that's what I added. So they had extra experience. So they had a few different things. So if that's an example, if you want to turn into like a werewolf or creature like that, or if you want like you just want claws, they could be metal claws. Like you want
I'm not trying to be Wolverine.
Well, no, you can have metal, not Wolverine's claws, but like finger claws, like popping out, um, like a natural weapon of some kind, or things like that. So it's up to you. You can let me know next session. Before next session, we'll work on that. Jose, did you want to do anything, or are you just staring at the boss, wondering if he's going to say anything to you?
Well, man, I guess I'll go up to him and be, my name is Zach. Pleasure to meet you.
He looks over at you. Do you hold out your hand, or do you just?
Yeah, hold out my hand.
I'm gonna say Eric and Darren have never seen him shake hands before. He doesn't even look down at your hand, and he goes, "Yes, I know who you are, Mr. Smith." Actually, that sounds so fake, Mr. Smith.
First name John.
His name is Zach, so it's a little. So he goes, "Mr. Smith, I know who you are. I know a lot about you. Actually, you wouldn't be here if I didn't know who you were."
Well, that's good to know, and nice to meet you too.
So yeah, he doesn't shake your head. He doesn't even look down at it. He just looks over at you. How tall are you? How tall is Zach again?
Like 6'4".
So yeah, he looks a little down at you. You're pretty big, but he's bigger than you.
Freaking Kingpin over here.
Sorry?
I said Kingpin over here.
All right.
So yeah, so he would go. I'm not good with this whole science thing. You know why I'm here. You have any work that maybe we can go do. We've been stuck in this place for what's it been, a few weeks?
Well, you're probably allowed to go do other stuff. I don't know. Do you have a job? Well, Darren has a job. I don't know if Eric does anything else. Maybe you have a teaching job. You're doing some web teaching or something, or an online classroom. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Zach doesn't do anything. He came here and he lives here. So now we have to add a kitchen down here.
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to ask him is if he had any job for us, because the thing is, like, the whole reason we're here is to go out and find creatures and all this paranormal stuff. So
Well, as I said, there's nothing concrete has come our way, but as Eric has access to that, if I find anything that I need you to look at, I will send you the information. Is there anything else? Anything you need? And he trusts everybody with that.
maybe some
sir.
equipment.
Good to see you. And I'll take a seat, start reading through the article.
All right. Well, I have a meeting to get to, and he makes his way to the door.
Yeah, when he leaves, Zach is just gonna look at it around the room. He's gonna go like, "What a dick."
And I'm just reading it, nodding, not nodding to you, just nodding over all the information that I'm going through. I will, however, copy the basic information that you said, like the frequency and technical specs on that energy spike. Not necessarily where it was or the time, but just that basic information, and I will shoot that over to Eric. And I'm still reading through it when you get that ping, and I'm just like, hey, could you look this up for me? Might give us a lead to something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it could just be nothing, but maybe not.
So
Yeah,
you
he'll start running an analysis on that, and then at the same time he'll start running running scans based on the satellite telemetry to see if there's anything nearby that might be worth checking out.
are you? So I guess you're using one of the screens, terminal screens. Maybe you have both of them set up there. I don't know what kind of setup you like. So as you're scanning through, trying to find something, you're trying to request access to the satellite. You do a search on that frequency and information that Darren sent you, and that document that was sent to you, the report. Certain dates pop out highlighted. The past 20 years. Some say it gives you locations and how long they were open. Some say one was 2 seconds, one was an hour, one was 20 minutes, like different. And the one that he sent you, you just sent him the frequency. You didn't send him duration or location, did you?
No, I just sent him the frequency, the frequency information. Nothing to make it identified as like to ping specifically my location.
Okay. Anyone have dice out? I could pull up a dice roller. Let's see.
I can roll a D100, or maybe some greens and purples and blues.
Okay, yeah, roll me a D100.
All right. Getting 42.
52 readings.
42.
Yeah, 52 plus 10.
Okay.
52 readings pop up with that same frequency over the last 20 years. Two of them, actually, all the missions you've been on are listed for the locations. So, how many jobs have you guys done in addition, including the Wilhelm ball and the gem? What do you guys?
I think we've not succeeded at many of them, but I would bet that we've done like 8, maybe 9, something where success might have been small compared to the loss of what we were doing or trying to capture something, and the best that we got was an image rather than the creature or the essence of it compared to that Xylo monster.
Right. So, what number? How many did you say again?
I said 8.
8. 7 of them appear on this list. One of them does not. And actually, if you start looking at the list, since the list is in front of you, you notice that one of the first date actually predates the satellite information. It looks like it was added manually after the fact.
Huh.
So it looks like it was actually 2 years before all the other information. And they were Actually, hold on. I'm going to change. How many years did I say? 10?
I don't think you did.
Okay, let's say, well, whatever I said, it's 10 years of information, but you notice that the satellite's only been up for 5 years. One reading was 10 years ago. The satellite reading started about 5, but there was like that one shortly after it went up. A few years, next one was a couple of years later. No, the next one was a year later. Then the next year had 3, and it looks like frequency has gone up on the sightings. So either that energy signature is increasing, or it is the satellite's better able to detect it. Yeah. Now it doesn't match the frequency that you were given for the what ended up being the Xylo horror, but one of the locations is where you were sent. So it looks like there was a reading and he sent you there. So all the missions except one that you've been on, he sent you there.
Interesting.
So
I'll file that little bit away. And
so what's interesting is this year, you've been on the 8 missions. 7 of them are listed on here. And there've probably been another, say another 10. So this year there's been a lot of that energy signature being recorded, at least.
on a hunch, I'm going to compare that energy signature to the energy signature coming off of the battery. Is it similar?
Oh no, the signature from the battery is what you were detecting, the radiation signature, energy signature. It's not the same as that energy spike that's being recorded.
Okay.
But you realize that this document has the equivalent of like hyperlinks, so you can click on that date, pops up all of the information that you've provided regarding the Xylo horror, including pictures and stuff that you may have. I'll assume someone took a picture at some point, or at least as a sketch you had drawn up or something. So all the information you provided is linked to that energy signature on the date that you in the location that you went to. And if you select all the other dates you've been to, the Wilhelm Ball one is listed as classified, but you have access to your report. And it looks like there's other information there, but you don't have access to it.
Gotcha.
And the other dates you've been to, whatever report you may have sent, but primarily it says no source found. So like whenever you arrived there, you didn't find anything, and that's pretty much like your reports.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll kind of, after seeing all of the data, he'll kind of turn back to Darren and go, yeah, we got quite a few hits on this. Anything else you can give me to narrow it down further?
What do you mean, quite a few hits?
And I'll spin the screen and show him the details, essentially.
Is there, if these are all like local, is there any way to? I'd like to look at the screen and see if there's a pattern to it. See if there's anything else that close that may have happened to my house.
Out of the 7, missions that you've been on that have been listed here. 5 of them are local. The other 2, including the one you were just on, were in other parts of. One was another part of the U.S. and
Okay.
the other one was, let's say, it was in Canada.
So then, what was the one mission that we went on that's not listed on here?
Of course, you're gonna. Eric, why don't you tell me
Yeah.
what that mission was, where it was, and
Can you pull up the spec on that?
it's not listed in this document, but you have records of your files, so.
Yeah, I think that mission ended up being something more of a tabloid chase.
Okay.
Where we weren't necessarily following a directive from our handler, but maybe just following up on a tip we had received from a anonymous source.
Okay.
So, on your pad that day, something popped up and gave you coordinates somewhere, and all it said was investigate. You tried to trace it back to the center, and you couldn't. It bounced off so many relays or whatever, and you think you found it at a library, but the library was closed. You think you found a location, but it was an old cyber cafe, but it was shut down. So, and that's where the signal came from, the message. But you decided to investigate that location, and it turned out to be an old warehouse. You scanned it for any radiation signatures or anything, and you found nothing. Background rate, like normal stuff, but nothing out of the ordinary. And it was just the 3 of you two, and actually, it was just the 2 of you who went there. Cassandra wasn't with you. It was a local warehouse. Let's just say the next town, a major city over. Where would you say you guys are located? Well, a made-up city or a real city or amalgamation of 2 cities? Like if you want to go
Space.
Space. Yeah.
I imagine probably somewhere more centrally located on the East Coast.
All right. So Zach is from space. No. All right. You're testing me on my geography. Okay, let's look at major U.S. cities.
Like I'm thinking probably somewhere near Virginia, Maryland, somewhere around there, somewhere
Yeah,
close.
like Washington D.C.
Yeah, close enough to major government centers where
Okay, so
contacts are going to be able to get the kind of information.
So sorry, where do you want to be near? Sorry.
Like thinking Virginia, Maryland, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Of course.
North Virginia.
What was that,
Virginia.
Jim?
Norfolk.
It's fun. The map I picked up has the states, but not the names. And I'm trying to figure out where are these. I know some of the states, obviously, like I know Michigan and Texas and California and Washington, sure. But then you said Norfolk, and that's on my map.
Norfolk, Virginia. Yep. That is the home of the largest naval base, I think, either in the world or in North America.
So that's the map I picked up. And hold on a second. Okay. So that's the map I have. So Norfolk's right over there.
Yeah. Centrally located on the East Coast.
So we'll say,
Yeah, very centrally located.
yeah. Let's say the warehouse was in Charlotte. It doesn't look like it's that far. Does that seem okay?
Yeah.
So it was just the two of you went. You were just Cassandra wasn't able to make it that day, so you guys didn't. Looks like an old unused warehouse. Maybe it was even boarded up. You tried to get in, but it was locked pretty well. You found no strange energy signatures, and you just decided to call it a write-off, and you came back home. Like, because what you were used to finding, what's strange, based on the other mission, this was probably your fifth or sixth mission like that, and what you're used to looking for, you found nothing of that there.
Okay. So it's probably something that we went on our own.
Yeah, so I said someone sent you a message and sent you the address and said investigate. And Eric tried to search where the sender sent the message, and I said you found an old cyber cafe that was all boarded up. And so you decided, all right, let's just go take a look. It's in a major city, you guys. Just a quick look. And you looked, you drove there, didn't find anything, and you came back.
Okay. Well then, looking at the times and the dates, is there a way that we could possibly predict where the next one may be or when it may be?
You can't really. You don't know. Well, you know what? Give me a roll. I'm going to say a science roll, I guess, just a general science. Or if you want,
Go for it, Eric.
Or super science. Super science. Well, you don't. Super science roll. See if you can find to find a pattern there.
Sure. What's my difficulty?
Let's go with 3.
Okay. I'll spend a story point to upgrade my roll ones.
Okay,
Nice.
3 purple, and I'm going to give you 2 black because you've only just started looking into this now.
Limited information.
Can the fact that I suggested to get specific for this give him a blue die because of the idea for this?
All right, I'll give you a blue die.
That's what I got.
All right. Let's roll it up. 1 success.
Oh, wow. Everything washed out except for that 1 success.
Yep. But it was not from the boost die. Sadly.
Yeah, those extra die did nothing. So, Darren did not help you one bit. His suggestions.
You didn't need me.
Yeah, it's like all you needed was 1 skill. Not the skill die, the 1 intellect die. Just the 1.
Story point well spent.
Yeah, the only thing you notice that you think there's a pattern. It's slowly, like, it doesn't look like a pattern at first glance. It looks like there were a few instances here and there, and they just started getting progressively more. You think that a logarithmic scale, so it's increasing exponentially, so not at a steady rate. So you think if it keeps at this rate, like, that signature might be everywhere, that radiation signature, encompassing probably the whole planet, but it's hard to say how far along that is, but it looks like with the ever-increasing frequency of the that's based on the information you have. it's hard to say if that's going to be in a few months or a few years where it'll hit, I guess, critical mass, if that makes any sense, to
Mhm.
where it'll be
Mhm.
like, so whatever is letting off that signature, that energy signature, it might be constant at that point and hit like and be everywhere, I guess. So, but this is like beyond, like this is based on the information you have. You don't know, the bulk of this information is when their satellite went up, but you don't know how accurate it was reading back then.
Yeah.
And you know that there's that one reading that's listed from before, 5 years before. So you don't know why there's a reading there, how it was recorded, and if there was anything in between.
Just out of curiosity, I want to pull that one. See if I can, like, if I look into that one, can I get any sort of location details?
When you go back to look at it, it's it
Or is it
actually
pretty heavily redacted?
actually, aside from the date and the time, you don't. There's no location, and there's no information. It's an empty file.
All right. Well, that looks suspicious. So I'll mentally flag that one, and I'll turn back towards Darren. Where did you where did you come across this frequency?
I hold up my pad and then use that same hand to point toward the door. Mr. Poe sent it to me. I don't know what he thought that I was going to be able to get from this, especially if you couldn't help it.
I think what I want to do is set up kind of my own notification system. Tie my my pad in this into the satellite network, or the satellite, if possible, to basically ping me every time the satellite reads this frequency, just so that I can start tracking it on my own.
That document, that report he sent you, is actually also the equivalent of like a Google Doc. You don't have. It looks like you have restricted access to it, as you saw. Some the other dates. Well, you haven't checked those, but a new date just popped up. Today's date and just now another reading.
Close by.
Sorry, what? Sorry, I'm reading Jose broke.
Where was this reading?
Give me a percentage roll.
And then at that many feet.
Yeah, that many feet away. I'm going to roll as well.
Okay.
Basically, if you get pick high or low, over or under. Sorry,
over.
All right. So if you get over my roll, it's close by.
Okay.
Oh, I got right in the middle.
Hey.
Okay. By some coincidence, it was almost a 50-50 chance that it's not that far away. Well, let's say it is in Miami.
So
I was looking what's further away on the East Coast, and
Yeah.
unless you want Tampa,
Tampa's closer than Miami,
yeah.
by just a little bit, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not close enough to get to.
Okay, fine. I'll be very well. It's close enough. You guys could, yeah. Okay, I'll be nice. It is in Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay.
So this one just went off.
Yep, it just went off a few moments ago. It's basically just outside of Baltimore.
And then
It's
let's jump in the van and
Yeah. I'll turn. You say you got gas in the car?
the Subaru. I have a Subaru because somebody's
course
going to
you
watch
do.
this, and Subaru is going to sponsor us.
Of course.
And super far in the future, I can buy a Subaru from the '90s, and it's still going. You got that? I hear you, Subaru. I hear what you say. Yeah, Subaru's all gassed up.
it is 3 hours and 51 minutes between Norfolk and Baltimore, and you have to go through Richmond and Washington.
Okay, what time of day is it?
We'll say it's early afternoon.
Oh, we better go quick. If it's early
Yeah.
afternoon, by the time we hit DC, it's gonna be 5 o'clock. We gotta move.
Road trip.
It's like a bat out of hell. Brrr.
We could also say that there's like high-speed trains that'll get you there faster.
Well,
Maybe in a couple hours.
technically, I think there is.
Yeah, like I mean, let's just say finally someone decided to bring Japanese technology here, maglev trains and stuff.
We got a bullet train finally.
Sure, yep, you got a bullet train. Let's just say they could do that in a couple hours. I don't know how fast they go.
Yeah. That's there is currently a train that goes that you can take that'll get you from Norfolk to Baltimore, but with the way that it currently runs, it's at least a 5.5 hour trip. So bullet trains it is.
Bullet train. Yeah. Let's do it.
And besides, this game doesn't take place right now.
Well, I have one that'll take you 12 hours and 42 minutes by train. The fastest is probably 5.5 hours. Yeah. So I'm just saying it'll probably take a couple hours. We'll say. You're not going around. Maybe it goes underwater, so you guys have a straighter line to get
Up through Delaware.
there. Yeah, right along the coast, probably straight, a nice straight line, more or less. Who knows how the future is set up?
With bullet trains.
Yeah,
Cannon.
maybe they're maybe planes are cheaper, like something along the lines like a Concorde type speed, so that you get there in 30 minutes. I don't know. Okay, so what do you guys want to drive it, or do you guys want to take the train?
Train. Bullet
All
train.
right.
Train.
Sounds
Are you
good.
are you taking your weapons with you?
I have a little gun. I'm pretty much safe.
Same. I've got a small pistol, so
Yeah, the only one of us that's going to have an arsenal isn't here.
Jose, what have you got? What does Zach have?
Well, I don't think it's a good idea for me to bring an axe to a train. So I'll tell you in a second what I'm gonna bring.
Mail it. Mail it ahead so that when you get there, it's there.
Well, you can go to the hardware store and pick one up.
yeah. That's part about being a melee character is
Let's see.
Okay, I'm not worried about.
you just got to go to Home Depot in Baltimore.
That's right.
I'll grab what is it called? A collapsible baton.
Well, you're don't worry, it's fine. You want to bring the axe, it's fine. You have it stored in a case, and you have a license to
Oh,
or whatever. It's
Where we
needed.
say- It's
I'm
just
not-
weird.
Yeah, the laws of weapons of. Well, you guys have certain licensing. You guys didn't have.
It's in your check bag.
Yeah, it's in your. Maybe you have a check bag. It's not in your carry-on. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the particulars of that. I was just trying to increase the time. You guys have maybe a private cabin, and you guys sort of thing, so you can bring it onto the. I don't know, because I don't think I don't even know the restrictions on an axe. Because you can go to the store and pick one up. Is it illegal to carry it around?
Yeah, I would imagine. Listen,
How do you get it?
I'll grab something small and I'll bring like a stun gun, and then I'll bring like a knife or like a baton or something.
Yeah. How do you get an axe from the store to your house if it's illegal?
I'm just
You
saying,
get a license.
I think people will call the cops on you if you're walking around with an axe.
Well, okay, I don't think you're going to carry it around in your hand and swing it around, and then people will definitely call you.
We'll just tell them we're
what I
LARPing.
would think it is, if you're a normal person,
It's a buffer
and
axe.
you bring an axe to a train, it's probably going to be a problem, even if it's in your carry-on.
Fine. If you don't want to bring it, then you don't want to bring it. Okay. Do you have enough money to get a baton, or?
I should. I mean, I've got cheap armor, so.
Hey, is there any way, Eric, that in the future, let's go ahead and get this thing set up so that we can break it down into pieces and we can each carry a piece of it, so that whenever we get somewhere, we've got a way to put it together.
The axe?
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's why I'm not really worried about it.
Cool. We've got he's not
fine.
worried about it. You have an axe that you can take apart and put back together.
It's a Lego axe.
We made it collapsible.
Hold on. You said a Lego axe or a Lego axe? Because that just said
Lego axe.
legal axe.
A Lego axe? It's the director's favorite axe?
Yeah, as I said, you guys can end up there, go to the store, pick one up. Like I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay. So then we get there. We've already stopped by Home Depot. You have your axe. Now we're in Baltimore. Boom. Right? No? Yes?
Yeah. see what this.
That bullet train was really fast.
Okay.
There's a Home Depot right across from the train station.
And they have one waiting for you.
That's right.
Curbside
A
pickup.
lot of people have to do this. Look at it.
It's a curbside pickup. You're not the first person to call us from the train in order.
Hey, we're still in a post-COVID world. Curbside pickup is still a big thing.
Yeah. So, you guys get to, we'll say to Baltimore, and you rent a vehicle, and you head outside of town. And are you? So you just decided, the three of you decided up and go. You didn't notify Poli you were doing this. You guys are your own people, right?
Yeah.
We left a note taped to the fridge.
I mean, what did Poe expect us to do with the information that he gave us? So
Exactly.
I think we're fine.
Give
he
me.
didn't say we weren't supposed to investigate on our own.
Give me an ops. Where is it? I need words. Where we go? No, perception. Search for. What is it? There's perception, and there's because I'm getting.
If we're not actively looking for it, it's vigilance.
Okay, because I'm thinking observation. Another setting entirely, I guess.
Yeah, you're thinking investigation from like
investigation or something. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Give me a perception check. Whoever. Well, I guess Eric. He's the one who has all the scanning stuff.
Yeah, and I've got 4 cunning. So, what's my difficulty?
I guess you need one of those.
Generally helpful.
Average is fine.
2. All right. 2 successes.
That's it.
That's it.
Can't you get any failures or something? No.
Yeah, they're just canceled out.
Yeah. Okay, so while this is one of the this signal lasted probably a good hour, maybe,
Oh wow.
before it, which is the longest that you know of, and the few that you've looked into, and actually probably the longest one on the record that, and but yeah, you have a rough idea of where it is. So it's still like it's not the satellite's not picking it up anymore. The signal.
And just out of curiosity, the as the signals have been increasing in frequency, have they also been increasing in time duration as well, or is it kind of a crapshoot in regards to?
I'm gonna say that was unclear with the amount of. You don't have a lot of only 52 samples. All you know is from the information you have, it is growing, but the times don't seem to mean much.
I think sync up with.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the time could be random, but everything else seems to have a bit of a like it
Pattern
looks
to it.
like it's exponentially growing.
Okay. Easy enough.
How much of this information do you relay to us typically?
Nothing at all.
You probably can't get him to shut up about it.
Oh, perfect. That helps because I think we established that I drive.
Yes.
And oh shoot, we don't have a Subaru. We have a Jeep. I just remembered we have a Jeep.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you drive.
Well, this is the one you rented. So
Right.
what do you rent?
This is the Subaru. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your choice was a Subaru or a Hummer, and the Hummer was a lot more.
Man, I don't have the money to pay for the gas.
Yeah. Plus, then would be those douchebags driving around Baltimore and
That's
home.
right.
Well, you guys are outside of Baltimore. You're driving out of Baltimore now.
driving into Baltimore.
He's probably like stuck in the seat with his like knees to his chest because he can barely fit in there.
Well, yeah, you got the back. They put you in the back so you can spread out a bit.
Yeah.
Or you could do what was it Bubba Smith in Police Academy? He pulls out the front seat and sits in the back.
That's right. I forgot
I
about
stick
that.
out my legs out the window.
Out of the sunroof, yeah. Or you can stand. Stand in there. We'll make you the turret. All right, so you're heading on to a location, and actually, you get another ping on the device, and like on your program. The signal started up again. Same exact coordinates.
Is that new from what we can tell from our sample size?
Well, as far as I know, you haven't looked at every. You've only looked at the ones that you've been to.
I mean, I imagine as we're on the train, I'm doing as much research into this as I possibly can.
Okay, the ones that you were not part of, most of it is minimal information, like just duration and stuff. It was odd. There was a couple of them looked like they had additional information, but while it was present, it was redacted, and there was not much you could pick up. But you've not seen, at least the information you have. There's nothing that's there's been. It's like what they say. It hasn't struck twice in the same spot, sort of thing.
Okay.
This is odd. The exact same location, and it's going on again. And you're about. You're about 45. We'll say about half hour out. You're driving there.
All right. As soon as I get that, I forward the information on and look to Darren and go floor it.
Yeah, I'm going. I make sure it's set up like he make sure the coordinates are up, and I've still got my PAD right up there as my GPS, and I set the coordinates ASAP and put the pedal to the metal.
You can put autopilot on or whatever the.
Cool. Autopilot. I swivel my chair.
We
Have a campfire in the middle of the car and talk about it.
Well, actually, the self-drive would probably slow down to the speed limit.
Well, then I turn back around, swivel, put the pedal down, and take back over on the driving. Because, yeah,
It's auto deflates.
it's a little game called Nobody Stop Staring.
What are the odds of there being an officer?
None, because these cars are so safe in the future.
Okay.
Except when they have crazy drivers.
It's not crazy. I am driving just as safely, but quicker.
Sure. So you guys are heading out. You guys are about 20, 25 minutes out, and you think you're like driving since you got that signal, and you think you're coming close. It's Jose. Why don't you tell me what do you see up ahead?
Cats.
Thought I was on the back seat. Wow.
Well, I'm asking Jose, not Zach. So, what is Jose? Tell us what your group sees, not what Zach does.
Cats.
Yeah, man, I don't even know what Baltimore looks like.
This is
There's a baseball stadium, a football stadium, some kind of historic landmark, a big building, a tree.
You guys, no, the train dropped you off in Baltimore. You picked up a rental and drove out of Baltimore.
Because it's just outside of Baltimore.
Yeah, it was about half-hour drive outside of Baltimore. You guys are, or so, and
okay,
you're
if I
done
saw that,
yeah.
then I would say in the middle of nowhere with like trees everywhere, like nothing but farmland.
I don't know if 30-minute drive outside of Baltimore can get us to that.
Let's.
Like looking right now at Google Maps. Okay, yeah, we can do it.
Well, let's just say the train station was just outside of Baltimore because they can't set up a station inside Baltimore. So it was more on the outskirts, and then you drove out from there. In the future, they tore down buildings to put up trees.
Yeah. I mean, there's like this wonderful little area called Mount Airy that has a fire company carnival grounds in it. That looks like it could be about 15 miles outside of Baltimore. Yeah.
So, which way?
West along I-70. I like this part. I'll just keep Google Maps up.
All right, fine. So where did so I'm looking at the map. So I see Baltimore here. I see Patapsco State Park. You're past that? I'm trying to. I don't know how far half an hour would be. Oh, I see.
If you see Frederick, that's just past Mount Airy. So,
Frederick. How far? I didn't put. Frederick. Okay, I see Frederick.
Yeah,
okay.
You've not gone back enough.
Okay, I see Frederick. It's right near that. Yeah. Okay, I see Frederick. So outside of there, before that.
Yeah, back to the east.
There's Newmarket.
And the next town is Mount Airy.
Oh, there we go, Mount Airy. So you guys are outside there in Gillis Falls Park. We'll say there's somewhere out there. Well, we don't have to be too specific.
No, I'm going to send an email to whoever this person is and send them like, hey, we played a game in your place digitally. We brought the COVID.
So right there, yeah, you guys are on Gillis Falls Road. And
nice.
You turned off down.
We're on ourselves a dirt road.
Yeah, there's a dirt road before. There's a power line there, passing a dirt road going into a forested area.
We should see what the Subaru does on a dirt road.
Does fine. It's a Subaru, my God.
So according to the satellite, the signal is still on, the energy source.
Driving like crazy, trying to get to it. Does the dirt road that I'm on seem like it's going to be able to take us there?
It's quite possible.
Okay, keep going.
Well, you might have to go a little bit off the path. It's not. It's
with as wooded as this area looks right now, it doesn't seem like if I have to get off the path, we're not going to be able to take the Subaru. So once I get us as close as I think we can get, I jump in the car, turn it off, shove the keys into my pocket, and grab my pad off the dashboard, and let's get following it. And I'll even take it from being just on the screen to being a projection so that anybody could look over at it instead of everybody having to have their pad in their hand and be distracted.
Okay, give me, anyone can do this, an observation perception check.
Sure, I'll give one because I haven't rolled yet. I don't know what I can do. My perception is not bad. What's the difficulty?
I'm going to say 2 difficulty with 1 black. So
Okay, cool.
2 purple, 1 black. There's a bit of foliage in the way. It's, running around trees and stuff.
Okay, I'm really feeling like I need this, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spend a story point to upgrade my check. So I've got 2 yellows. Shoot, I have an advantage. So on that advantage, I'm not going to end up being able to find it, but instead of being able to find it, maybe there's some. I look up, and from the direction that I'm going, instead of being able to get right to it, I look up, and just as I think that I've gotten us lost, I see the birds flying in a specific direction. And I'm like, they are going away from it. And so I'll point us in the opposite direction the birds went and head in that direction.
All right, give me another check with an advantage. The same difficulty.
Anybody want to jump in?
Sure.
You want to help? You want me to help you? I can help you.
Yeah, you got what, one rank of perception?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll upgrade me once.
Good.
And with the boost day, you said?
Yep.
1 boost and 1 setback.
Coming right up. 2 successes and an advantage.
There we go.
Oh, you could regain your strain. It's been a long.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
I'll mark you on this part.
Awesome. Thank you. Just beat me to it.
Okay.
I'll look back at Zach and say, Zach, we're coming up on it. Get yourself ready.
You got it. And does this thing have a sunroof or no?
Oh no, we're running right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, then I'm good at this, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in your element now.
As you make your way there, you can see what. Actually, I guess probably the best way to describe it is a shimmer, and it's probably this one looks like it's maybe it's hard to tell. See the exact dimensions, but it's probably maybe 2 feet, 2 to 3 feet big, like in all directions, like height and width. And it's a shimmer, and you think you just saw a humanoid form step into it, but by the time you guys get closer, you don't see it anymore. Like looks like they stepped into it, and then the shimmer just fades away and is gone.
All right. As soon as we get there, and as soon as we see this, like I've got my pad out. I've got like a one, a hand scanner attachment to it. I'm taking every single reading that I can to try and get more data on this frequency and what this thing was.
All right, give me I keep saying observation.
Perception.
Yeah, perception. Give me 3 difficulty. 2 black because it's fading away, like it's faded. But I'll give you a boost since you know what the frequency range is, like frequency setting.
So 3 purple, 2 black, 1 boost.
And hold on.
Oop.
Oh, never mind. Too late. Okay. I was going.
So 5
Oh.
successes on the threat.
Okay, so what exactly? Describe to me what you were doing.
So I had taken on my pad, attached like a wand scanner tool, and I'm just taking multiple passes around the area where we saw the shimmer, just collecting it in different different spectrums, ultraviolet, infrared, radioactivity, just to get as much information on it as I can.
So you're trying to pick up the radiation, like the energy signatures of.
Yeah, just trying to get more information on it so we can dial into it a little bit better.
And you have a rough idea how big it was, because there's lingering readings and stuff, and you're getting a lot of additional information, but it makes no sense to you. It's the scanners that he gave you seems to scan a lot of stuff that you don't know what it even does with your knowledge on there, but you can try to figure it out later. Like at a quick glance, it doesn't.
No, that's future Eric's problem. We'll, I'm just pressing buttons and taking readings on every possible spectrum.
And so where is everybody right now? While Eric he's right against this where this anomaly was. And where's Darren in all this? What's Darren doing?
Darren's asking questions. If there's nothing there to see, he's frustrated. We came out all this way in time to see what we think is humanoid walk into this and it not, and then nobody got it recorded. We're trying to get residual readings, and ultimately, like, this was the best shot that he's heard of to get information, especially that it reappeared in the same place for an extended amount of time, and now there's nothing.
You're pretty sure, like, you went, if you had any recording devices or stuff, your readings, the reason you think you weren't able to find the place, your sensors were all being scrambled, like there was some interference. And
Okay.
You've never been at one of these locations while it was open, so that's possible that it was giving off interference of some kind. And then once it finally closed down, everything was back to normal, and you started doing the scans. And you're looking around like, I'm useless right now. What am I going to do? Looking around like for something. What is Zach doing?
Well, he's gonna look around, see if there's anybody around.
You see 3 people. Well, you probably see 2. Unless you hold up a mirror.
Fine. Okay, so nobody else is around here.
If you can give me a perception check.
Sure, I mean, my perception sucks, but yeah, I'll be more than happy to.
I mean, if somebody's around and there's a chance that we see them, but we're not looking for them actively, then a vigilance or vigilance roll is what's required.
Okay, yeah, give me a vigilance. Yeah.
Let's see.
That's probably better for you.
Alright, so what kind of difficulty or
3 difficulty, but I am going to upgrade. So 2 purple, 1 red. And
man, you're mean. So is
yeah.
that it?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you any setback dice. I should give you like 6 or 7, but anyway. Oh, 4th threat. Okay. Hold on. Is that? Wow. You only have 2 green? Is that right? You roll 2 green, 1 red, 2 purple?
Yeah, didn't you tell me to roll that?
No, it just looks like there's an error on my end, but you still got a success, but you got 4 threat. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that thing I did last game. I'm gonna go ahead and use ready for anything.
And what does that do again?
It takes away that point from you and gives it to us.
Oh, so you just steal. You're a thief. Okay.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I can do that once a game.
No story points for you.
Fine. I just gave you one and you steal my last one?
Yeah, because like I gotta find something, man.
Jose, how was your coordination? How,
It's great, isn't it?
No, it's too green.
too
Okay.
great. Okay, you have no agility is what you're saying. Okay. Like what would be a good reaction skill?
A reaction skill?
Yeah, like
It
acting.
depends on what you're trying to do to him.
Well, I need him to react. Something his vigilance was successful, so he gets to react to something like D&D terms. It would probably be maybe athletics, but I don't know what else. Coordination, like moving quickly, I guess.
Mhm.
Like reacting quickly, so like a dexterity saving throw type of thing.
I'd probably just tie that in with the vigilance success, honestly.
Okay, that's true. I can do that.
His vigilance made it so that he succeeded whatever was coming after him or happened to him.
Okay, that's true. All right, so that's not just a perception; that was a reaction type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Zach, you are like looking around, like, is there anybody else here? And Eric is not paying attention; like he's looking at his screen, doing the readings.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up.
And you start seeing the shimmer again, because you happen to be right next to Eric, and you grab him and throw him out of the way. You take I'm gonna say you get thrown back. Would you say 4? Is 4 threat enough for a wound, or do you think that would be just more strain type of thing? Jim?
4 threat in combat? Because that's
yeah, I get. You could say in combat or something.
you can use like if there's actually an enemy there, you could use it to make give whatever's about to happen a significant advantage. Or you could turn that around and use 2 of them to make him suffer a black die for each 2 of them on his next action or what he decides to do. You could make it if there is an opponent for 2 of them that they can immediately take a maneuver to do something to it. Like I don't know if whatever this light is trying to draw him in as a maneuver or what.
I'm gonna just roll a bit more narrative. I'm gonna say, well, you take. Okay, I'm gonna. Zach takes 4 strain, but your right arm is basically numb right now. You can't use your right arm, or you're gonna get. You might get penalties. I might give you penalties, but we'll say your right arm right now is not usable. That's a lot, but I'll say you.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. Okay, let's just say a 4 strain. His arm is numb, but I'm not going to give him any penalties to using it.
Okay.
You can't feel anything with it right now. Or, yeah, that's fine. 4 strain, whatever. Ick, your arm just went numb for a moment, so like it's on pins and needles right now. Because you pushed Eric out of the way, but your arm got caught as it opens up again.
You're muted.
I will start recording.
Yeah. So what happened? Yeah. So Zach picks you, Eric up, tosses you out of the way. You land, and your little notification program beeps saying it's opened up again.
I'm just picturing this now. I just like Eric's going through reading and Darren's just sulking, and Eric's going, no, this is good. This is good. This will help us dial, maybe dial in faster on this next time. More data is good. And then Zach just comes in and like football tackles me out of the way.
Yeah, I got it. He tackles you, but he spins around so you land on him, and he lands on his arm, sort of thing. And yeah, Darren, you go, holy shit! You try to turn on, but now all your stuff starts malfunctioning. And out, you guys can see out through the shimmer, a tall humanoid figure steps out. And the shimmer disappears. And you guys recognize the figure. And he has a look on his face. It's a little bit of surprise that you guys are there. It's like, well, I wasn't expecting you to come and investigate this one. You can't see his eyes because there's a nice sunglasses over them, and he has a bald head.
You saying is the boss guy? So what? He can teleport? What kind of shit is this?
Are you gonna ask him?
Mr. Poe, what is this? And I shout out, where's my wife?
I wasn't ready to explain things to you, but I guess I don't have a choice now. And your immediate question, I don't know where she is. I had nothing to do with that. But I've been withholding some information.
Obviously.
Just a little.
Clearly.
Okay, the short explanation. That is known as, different names. And that is called the Horizon. Sometimes it can be manipulated into opening. Sometimes some other factors that I'm not entirely certain of can affect it as well. And it leads into what is called the terminus, which is an expanse between realities. Now, to properly explain, certain abilities like those of Mr. Clavin are not of this world. And his powers are not even from this world. He has access to them. They are actually from another world, another reality. And
I knew it.
so I'm not certain where origins your powers come from, how you access them, or perhaps it is uh, it could be maybe one of your parents are not from this, or ancestors are not from this reality, and you manage to access their, let's call it, magic. Different realities work off of different laws. This reality is based off of science, mathematics, and other realities could be more magical based or somewhere in the middle. So, technically, nobody from this reality can cast magic unless they're not 100% from this reality. So, or they're using an item that channels magic or something else. I have looked in. Actually, Eric, do you know about your parents, grandparents, or anything, or what kind of history do you have?
Yeah, no, his as far as he is aware, his probably the last 2 generations or so, he has a pretty firm lineage on. But after that, it kind of starts getting a little bit muddled. Probably around what do we say? It's about 2050. Probably around middle 1900s. Right around probably World War II time, when things start getting a little muddled.
So, question: do you have siblings?
No, only child.
Are your parents alive?
Mother is, father is not.
And any grandparents?
None living.
He types in the air again, and you get a document, and it lists a family tree. If you look at it, it'll say, "Yeah, your lineage." It says, "I know a few more things than you might that I may have kept a secret. I was eventually going to tell you, but that will explain a little more of why you can cast magic." And Zach Smith's unknown powers, since he doesn't want to finalize his character. I know the source because I think I know where those come from, but well, I've narrowed it down, and he pulls out a device, and it looks just like the Wilhelm ball that you have in storage. And he goes, "With this, I use it to traverse the terminus to other realities. Not at liberty to say anymore right now, but basically, like you, I'm investigating a few things, and this reality, this world, seems to be a focal point right now."
Is that why these, I guess, rifts in space-time are appearing more frequently?
That is, well, yeah, as I said, I don't, based on the information I have, that's what it looks like. I only have information for the mostly the pretty much last 5 years, but it does lend to my belief to that as well. And in all honesty, I was testing you guys to see if you could handle a little more than just the everyday normal stuff. But, well, obviously, you, Mr. Clavin, can. But it was testing the rest of you out to.
So fighting that Xylo horror wasn't enough. Being able to handle the that Vanta black ball wasn't going to be enough. See, Mr. Poe, I am committed to what's going on. You obviously have information I need.
I don't have any more than what I sent you. I am trying to find out more. I do not know where what you call the Wilhelm ball, where yours came from. The fact that there is another one here, I was trying to find the owner of it. I've let you hold on to it, and so anytime you open that case, I know about it. So I've been keeping tabs on it. Wanted to make sure it didn't fall into someone else's hands. I trust you enough to hold on to it. Wasn't ready to explain everything to you, but I guess I don't have a choice. Like I told you, I can tell you enough that yes, I know how to use it. Let's say I found this one as well, and I'm learning how to use it myself. I've been through the horizon and to what the terminus in between, and I've been to other realities as well. That's about as far as I could probably explain right now. I might answer a few more questions, but it's best. That's about as far as I can let you know right now. I said I don't know anything more than what we discussed, Mr. Tuck. Any more than what's in that document. But feel free you can ask me a few more questions. But as I said, I may not be able to tell you everything right now. I said I don't have all the answers. So
Can you use that light to go ahead and take us back to the bar?
that's one of the problems. I haven't been able to fine tune it to that sense. There was an opening here, so I managed to reopen it. I went to the origin location, and like I didn't find anything on this end, and on the other end I didn't find anything either where it was opened up from. And I didn't want I wasn't prepared to go much further, so I decided to come back through.
All right. So then, what is our next step? We seem to be pretty rudderless right now.
Well, I guess I could show you what I know of that Wilhelm ball. What little I learned from it, how to reopen up these horizon portal things. How to open them up and travel through them if you want.
What's on the other side of them? Why would
Think of it as it's a space in between realities, and it opens up and allows you to walk through to another, I guess, wormhole would be a good description, to another reality, another location. I haven't been able to. I found a way to reopen them up, but not open them up for myself, or choose where they open up, or I can only reopen one, so it's an existing one that was closed recently. Once that's, I can go through, explore, and if it's safe enough to breathe, not all of them have the similar atmosphere as ours.
So, I guess just for clarity's sake, we have access to this item that can reopen doors that have been closed, but we have no reason to go through them than just to open the doors blindly and take a look around? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I wanted to see what was on the other side, if I could see what opened it, and try to collect information. I'm not prepared to go wandering what is essentially an alien world by myself. I was just going to collect some additional information, but I said I didn't find anything on the other side. You're more than welcome to go, the three of you to go and take a look, but I don't advise that you're properly prepared to go that far. You have no additional gear.
I'll look at Eric and Zach just like eyes open, just this face, shaking my head because it sounds really cool that we have this, but we have no direction to use it. And I still feel like we have no idea what we're doing. We just have something now, and he has no answers for us.
Now, that Xylo horror, as you called it, from what I could gather, it came through. It might have been sent, I don't know, but that could have been just a random opening, and it wandered on through. There could be someone on the other side.
Or it could have been a targeted attack.
That's entirely possible.
Right, and I'm looking over at Eric. Absolutely. But the point is, it took us more than 2 hours to get to this point, and even using the Wilhelm ball, if we can reopen something that's happened, that doesn't mean we can even get to the place on time to do it. If what we're trying to do is ultimately, what sounds super heroic and what sounds super amazing, and that could be helpful, is if it is attack or something's going to wander through, and we jump to where it is and either destroy it, fight it, nullify it, send it back through. Okay, but right now we still and I'll look right in the eyes to you, Eric. What are we doing? I mean,
we're in the dark here. We don't really know anything.
I really appreciate that you've offered us this opportunity, and you've given what little you have to help me find my wife, but it sounds like now that you've told us all this, you have nothing more for us, and I have just as much of a chance finding my wife looking on my own rather than doing this. I could go back to just working in the bar, sir.
Well, as I said, I didn't think you were prepared for all of this at this point. I'm just trying to ease you into all of this.
I don't need eased in. I need a direction, sir, because right now I'm lost. And when you sent that document to me, I thought you had answers, and the answers that you're giving me aren't really answering questions. It's just more information, but no answers. I need some direction.
Every time I use this, I learn a little more. And he holds up his device, and I'm trying to learn how to open up older portals. Now, as far as I've gotten, I can go to an old one and find a residual, but I'm not able to. I guess the best way is after a while it locks up. This one is still unlocked, and I managed to get my foot in the door. I'm trying to still learn how this device works. Maybe if I can give you all my information, and you could try to figure it out yourself.
That sounds like something wonderful for Eric to do. And I'm sure that with his interests, Eric, would you be happy to do that for him?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But, sir, Mr. Poe, that sounds like there's no use for myself or Zach. Like, we have no direction.
That's
what we're asking for.
Not every place that have I gone through has been empty. I've been to other worlds, and I've seen other other beings, and some I've managed to even communicate with.
That sounds wonderful, and I can tell that you're very interested in that. But one, I'm not. Two, you've not really said anything to make it worth my while to entice me into wanting to go and explore new worlds and talk to new people. And honestly, and I look at Zach Sachs, I think he'd like to do more than talk.
Well, not everywhere is friendly. I've been picking you each for a certain set of skills. Now, if we can find a way to unlock older Horizon portals, and we can unlock the one that your wife, I suspect, went through.
If
find her. Well, as I said, this is still relatively new technology for me. I've only had this one for about 3 years now, and I've only unlocked it 2 years ago. Figured it out. It's strange that I found another one now. So someone can make these and use them to traverse specifically. So the one that opened up, and we suspect that your wife went through, was either purposeful or was accidental. But either way, if we figure this out, we can go in and possibly rescue her.
So do you have any leads? Seriously, I'm sorry. I'm so passionate, right? Getting so passionate, and I know I'm being emotional about this, but you still have not provided any direction. You're just giving us ifs and maybes, and like the first step, are we going to go look for something because you found somebody that we need to go hunt down to get this information? Or do I need to go talk to somebody about maybe giving it to us or negotiate with them? Or do we need to go kick somebody's ass to find a way through a door to get something else or more information? Do we need more equipment so that we can help Eric figure out what we've got to do with it to give it a new testing area? Whatever it is, we don't know anything to do other than maybe go through a portal and talk to something. Sir, we need direction. Guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm talking a lot and I'm getting carried away. You take a minute and I'll cross my arms and I'm gonna walk like 10 feet over to the side. Just
I agree with him. We're right at this moment. It seems like we're lost. Like, it's just things don't really make sense. Like, he has his research, so he got something going, but at the same time, like, you're not really throwing us clues. Like, I'm ready. I'm here, ready to protect them, and but
Yes.
you
Well,
gotta those places and have us do something. Like he says, you gotta give us some direction. We can't just like.
I've given you all the direction I can at this point. I will try to find out if I find somewhere concrete. Maybe I'll send you through the next one, and you can get better readings. They figure out I said right now I'm in the dark, much in the dark as you are. I don't know a lot about this, where if someone is opening them or if they're random or both. But these devices led me to believe that someone is able to control them to some extent.
And I'll turn back around and I just look at him and go, and you don't know, but you still put together a team of people who are capable of a bunch of different skills in our own ways. We are not masters, but we are more skilled than others. And I'll be honest with you, it seems like you need less of me and Zach and more people like Eric.
As I said, some of these.
But you also said you don't know.
Well, that's why I want a group that is not just research based.
So we're the just in case team.
No.
Fist bump, Zach.
Well, the last mission you went on and found that Xylo horror thing, and if it wasn't for Zach and Cassandra there, then it might have done more harm.
You know what, sir? You're absolutely right. So what it sounds like we need is less of me.
No, because you're good at, I forget, what are you good at again? Reading people, I guess.
And who says I'm going to be able to read whatever? You think I could read that Xylo horror? You think I could talk to it and be like, "Hey, buddy, what's up? How's it going at home? Is everything fine?" If that's what we're going to find, even half the time, then other than that off opportunity that I get to talk, negotiate, maybe try to hype these guys up, it's going to be hard to get them hype when I don't know, boss. I'm really sorry. I'm struggling with feeling this.
Perhaps I made an error in judgment then. It's not the first, and it probably won't be the last. If you feel like you need to leave, then that's your choice. I don't know. Don't know what else I could say right now.
Maybe that you had a plan of some sort, because this didn't seem like we've not had a plan at all.
As I said, you've been investigating what a few things for me. I'm still, as I said, I'm even new at this.
Yeah, and that just means that we've gone and looked at stuff and then come back.
But every time we've gone, we've come back with more data.
And
You've come back with more data. He finally, those coordinates I sent you was what he gave to me. One of those was the location where something just like this happened in my house, and my wife did whatever that person did and walked away from me.
I cannot, I've never met her, so I don't know state of mind or what choices she made, if she walked away purposefully, accidentally, or was taken. It could be any of those. And as I said, I was trying to ease you into this. I'm still trying to collect information. Like, you can come up with find something that will increase your chances of finding your wife. Yes, it's not. I can't give you steps 1 through 10, and once you follow all of them perfectly, you'll find your wife.
Right, but you put us together for a job and with no direction, just to go do this. So,
well,
guys, I'm going back to the Subaru. You coming?
Let's go.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you three start walking away until if you turn back, until you can't see him anymore, and you guys make your way back to the Subaru and drive back. And I think we'll call it at that point there.
Cool.
I'd like to thank everyone who may watch this. I'd like to thank my players for playing. And see you in 2 weeks then.
Cool.
Sweet.
And a moment.